Hail Satan!
Hail Satan!
Hail Satan!
Hail Satan!
If you were to judge intimacy in Satanism based on film, television, and 80s hair metal, you'd probably come to the conclusion that the intimate lives of Satanists are full of virgin sacrifices, dead goats, and spandex. But when you begin to investigate the true world of intimacy in Satanist religion, and closely associated occult belief systems and organizations, you find a set of doctrines based around being groovy, and getting weird while trying not to impose on anyone. If you're interested in learning more about the satanic religion, or just feel like rubbernecking, continue watching this video. Welcome to History Mystery. Today we look at strange intimate lives in Satanism and occultism throughout history. Compared to rumored covens of the 17th century, and the supposed satanic groups that followed, the Church of Satan is a highly respectable organization. Despite this, the Church's members are still occasionally demonized by the public. Throughout the 80s, and into the 90s, intimacy and the Church of Satan was a hot-button issue, thanks to a series of satanic ritual abuse scandals that rocked America. This video explores centuries-old occult beliefs on intimacy, and the modern Church of Satan's views on things like homosexuality and marriage. Get out your pitchforks, turn up the heat, and check out these facts about the intimate lives of Satanists. When you first open the Satanic Bible, you're presented with an emphatic refutation of the Christian Bible. This series of satanic laws, known as the Book of Satan, sets out the philosophical foundation of Satanism, while talking time to rag on Christianity. The fifth rule of the third section of the Book of Satan states, "Is not lust and carnal desire a more truthful term to describe a love, when applied to the continuance of the race? Is not the love of the fawning scriptures simply a euphemism for intimate activity, or was the great teacher a glorifier of eunuchs?" Old religions, as per Levi, are corny folk beliefs disguising the necessity for breeding as a powerful emotion. Why not just get over that and get it on? Adherents to the Church of Satan basically prescribe to an existentialist belief system: humans are animals, the world is what it is, and nothing else. Which means, regarding intimacy, that if you want to do it, do it. From the onset, all bets are off. If you asked most people about what they think happens at a satanic mass, the first thing that would pop out of their mouths would probably be sacrifice or intimate group activities. But, according to page 36 of the Satanic Bible, it is often assumed that intimate activity is the most important factor of the satanic religion, and that willingness to participate in intimate group activities is a prerequisite for becoming a Satanist. Nothing could be farther from the truth. In the 60s, when Levi was writing the Satanic Bible, fans of BDSM and other kinky practices were politely referred to as members of an intimate freedom organization, and a lot of those people were interested in Satanism. It was groovy, they were groovy, it made sense. But you didn't have to be into whips and chains to be a Satanist, and Levi wanted everyone to feel comfortable. Unless intimate activity can be expressed on an individual basis, there is absolutely no purpose in belonging to an intimate freedom organization. When Anton LaVey began piecing together the Church of Satan, one of his main intents was to provide a place for social outcasts to gather and not feel judged by a bunch of squares. Satanism condones any type of sexual activity which properly satisfies your individual desires, be it heterosexual, homosexual, bisexual, or even asexual, if you choose. Satanism also sanctions any deviation which will enhance your intimate life, so long as it involves no one who does not wish to be involved. Almost as if he were anticipating the backlash that would hit the Church of Satan in the 80s and 90s, Levi explicitly stated in the Satanic Bible that Satanists are only supposed to get intimate with people who want to get intimate with them. If you attempt to impose your desires upon others who do not welcome your advances, you are infringing upon their intimate freedom. Therefore, Satanism does not advocate rape, child molesting, sexual defilement of animals, or any other form of intimate activity which entails the participation of those who are unwilling, or whose innocence or naivete would allow them to be intimidated or misguided into doing something against their wishes. Despite this overt call for gaining consent, the Satanic Church would become the scapegoat for scandals involving children and adult workers time and time again. When you find that special someone and you want to put a ring on it, expectations for the perfect wedding induce a lot of stress. This is especially true for Satanists. Problem number 1, you might not be able to find a satanic priest willing to travel to your area, and even if you do, there's a chance your county won't honor the ceremony, on account of laws governing who can or can't sanctify the union. The Church of Satan suggests making sure you're good and legal before piecing together your dream ceremony. If a couple wants to perform a marriage ceremony that has no legal ramifications, they can do whatever they like, but they must know that this wedding will not be recognized by their state of residence. Before Levi created the Church of Satan, different branches of the occult offered different paths to enlightenment. Pretty much every version of these practices, be they black magic or pseudo-Satanist, is based on getting bare and weird, because intimacy is seen as a way to spiritually charge yourself. According to Pascal Beverly Randolph, the father of Western intimate magic and a heavy influence on Aleister Crowley, who created the Satanism-adjacent religion Thelema, true intimate power is God power. Basically, an intense intimate pleasure elevates you to a higher plane of existence, and once there, you can theoretically do anything. Since Satanism is a complete rejection of everything Christianity stands for, it makes sense the founder of the church, Anton LaVey, would give a 2 thumbs up to self-pleasure by touching yourself. Where Catholicism trades in the guilt that comes with not creating a child with your seed, LaVey says you should do whatever you want to do with your genitals, whether or not you're trying to make a baby. Page 38 of the Satanic Bible reads, "Satanically speaking, though, it is far better to engage in a perfect fantasy than to cooperate in an unrewarding experience with another person. With self-induced pleasure, you are in complete control of the situation." Aleister Crowley was not, strictly speaking, a Satanist, but rather an occultist who wrote on many subjects closely associated with Satanism, including black magic, witchcraft, and his own religion and philosophy, Thelema. Many of Crowley's beliefs were based around intimacy as a gateway to reaching another plane of existence and affecting the world around you. His main jam was using bodily fluids as icing on his proverbial ritualistic cake. From the magical world of Aleister Crowley, through the magical act of physical intimacy, by focusing all one's will and imagination upon a desired goal in the moment of intense intimate pleasure, one can achieve success in any occult operation, from the invocation of a god to the finding of hidden treasure. One may, for example, use these techniques to magically empower a talisman or other magical object, by focusing one's entire will upon the desired object during intense intimate pleasure, and then afterwards anointing that object with the semen. One can use that empowered object to achieve virtually any desired end. Many tenets of Satanism are derived from Eastern philosophies that have been kicking around since long before the advent of monotheism. The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, an occult organization focused on metaphysics and the paranormal, formed in the 19th century. And some feminist satanic philosophers point to tantric intimacy as a way to align your chakra to the rhythms of the universe. This practice diverges from Crowley's intimate methods is in its attitude toward semen. While Crowley advocated painting the walls white, tantric-inclined occultists and Satanists refrain from firing the cannon. Tantricism maintains that male fluid contains the spiritual substance Bindu, the very essence of the male principle Shiva. The loss of Bindu in releasing is said to weaken the initiate, causing it to flow in the opposite direction upwards through passages in the subtle body to the so-called crown chakra is presumed to strengthen the center of consciousness and even foster immortality. Maria de Nagloska was an early 20th century occultist and believer in Satan as a feeling, rather than a red guy with horns. Her objective was to reclaim the idea of Satan from masculinity and turn it into something purely feminine. One of de Nagloska's most talked about rituals was called the Golden Mass, which involved as many as 20 copulating couples forming a magical chain, very much like the highly disciplined Chakrapuja circle intimate group activities of Tantra. The intimate current generated by this group activation of intimate energy was often directed to the magical destruction of enemies. As per her writings, Danagloska also saw diabolical operations as a way to heal ailing members of her group. One of the beauties of Satanism, the occult, and the rituals associated therewith is the personal freedoms afforded. There's really no wrong way to get freaky. The only real problem associated with this is what to take from which doctrines. While traditional religions like Christianity require followers to adopt a singular belief system, Satanism, and the many philosophies of the occult associated with Satanism, allow you the freedom of assembling your personally brand of religion piecemeal. Above all other things, the Church of Satan preaches freedom of expression and absolute adherence to your true nature as an individual. So if you want to use a pinch of Maria de Nagloska's feminist-based Satanism, and a dash of Aleister Crowley's very masculine form of sort of satanic witchcraft, by all means, do so. Basically, do what you want. Don't get bogged down in details. Which of these satanic beliefs is in line with yours? Kindly drop your comment in the comment box.